Hey everybody, this is Mike. Just coming in a little early today to let you guys know that our opening conversation this week went a little long. I think it's a really interesting conversation. We talk about just our thoughts about Scum and Villainy for a little bit, sort of a mid-campaign look back on what's happened and what we like and dislike about the system. I think it's really interesting. I think you might enjoy listening to it, but it does go longer than we normally go before getting into the actual gameplay. So if you want to get straight to the action to find out what happens next with the Phoenix 13 crew, you can jump ahead to about the 20-minute mark and get started. Thanks.
Escape the dungeon!
Hello, everybody. This is Escape the Dungeon, the podcast where we ask you to join us as we explore the world beyond the world's oldest role-playing game. My name is Mike Cripps, and I will be your host and game master, and I am joined by three stellar players. Zach Brass.
That's me.
Dom Brass.
Hi, I'm Dom Brass.
And Nate Brass.
That's me. Hello, Internet.
Each season, we will be playing a different tabletop role-playing game. This season, we are playing Scum and Villainy.
Dude.
I don't know, I felt like putting a little mustard on the intro this week. Forged in the Dark game, published by Evil Hat Productions. I felt like putting a little mustard on that, and you know why? Because this is episode number 20, you guys.
I sure hope we didn't record all these for nothing.
Be honest, did you think we were gonna get here?
Are we leveling up?
Let's see if we even really do.
Okay, well, no, shut up. That's not even... Okay, I thought we would get to 20 episodes with... Well, assuming we were going to do seasons that were at least 20 episodes. Eventually. It was just the hope. It's like, okay, are we going to release this season? Are we going to do it? I'm feeling pretty good about this so far.
I'd say there's upwards of a 15% chance that this episode comes out someday.
Ouch. I was going to say, like, at least honestly, I was saying 84, but fine. I see you.
Hey, 84 is upwards of 15.
Yeah, just hedging your bets, I guess. It's like, what are we playing? What's that? The game show that I never watched that everybody liked or something. The one where you guess the price.
Behind that door?
No,
Oh,
the price.
The Price is Right. No, Zach. I don't know. I think wrong crowd, maybe. Like,
one of
I never.
one of the most famous programs in the world.
Yeah, price. My joke that I failed to say was, "What are we playing? Price is Right rules."
Price of Right.
Yeah,
right?
That's me, guys.
Has this guy turned on a television once in his life? I'm just kidding. That would imply cable, which is for nerds now. We are beyond that.
We still use televisions to watch most things.
Yeah, but I don't watch like television programming.
And play video games. Because I'm a console gamer.
You guys, I wanna kind of breeze through our opening banter this week in celebration of this being episode 20. I want to go back to the basic premise of this show, which was we've always liked playing tabletop role-playing games together. There's always been more systems that we wanted to play than we had the time to play, and so we're making time to try some of these out. And Scum and Villainy is the first game that we've tried, and I want to ask, are you guys having fun? Do you like this system 20 episodes in?
I love this system, actually. I actually can say with confidence that this system changed my entire perspective on different types of role-playing games, coming from primarily from Pathfinder and D&D.
Wow.
We played these types of systems in shorter bursts before, but this is the first time we've actually done a somewhat like lengthy campaign type thing. And I mean, 20 episodes is a lot longer sounding than it is if you think that it's probably about 3 episodes per session, really. But still, this is by far the longest I've ever played this type of game or this type of system, other than maybe Masks, which I did really like, but I think we were still so early when we as a group did that before this that it didn't really hit as well. It was still fun, but like I didn't think there was quite the same spirit in just rolling with all the punches and doing whatever the hell you feel like.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's just great, it's what I like out of a role-playing system more than I thought. I got into role-playing systems like D&D with the idea that like the combat's like a little video game on paper that could draw me in. But then the fun part really comes down to just the social dynamic of the whole thing. The combat's great and it can be fun, but at the end of the day, it's just the icing on top.
Yeah. Dom and Nate, how about you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's I went with the joke earlier, so I don't know. I was gonna lean on that. But in general, I've really enjoyed it. It's a fun system. It's nice that nobody ever just feels totally useless. And very rarely, I mean, this group of all people, it's like, yeah, I see these guys do some crazy stuff sometimes, but Zach and I at least try to, optimize enough. And in this, it just feels really good to be like, let me do a study check because we all suck at that. It's just fun.
Yeah, failure is exciting in this, whereas in some more tactical games,
It's
it
frustrating.
isn't. Yeah, exactly. It sucks. Like you're like, oh damn, now I gotta wait for everybody's 5-minute turn in the cycle, minimum 5-minute turn. You could this asshole might be playing a caster and he might take 10 minutes to go through his shit.
Yeah, I generally agree. I think I was kind of the one most pushing for this game specifically. Because I'm a big fan of Forged in the Dark. I think it's a really fun system. I really like Powered by the Apocalypse in general. And like just that D6 narrative system that they've kind of built within the industry. And so I had run a one-shot of this game before and like royally fucked up what the rules even were. But it was really fun. And I really liked that, and then I pushed for us to play it for this. And I've just been having a really good time with it. I like the free flow. I think the kind of the way the books talk to you as the GM about how to deal with situations and the pacing of things is just like really fulfilling. It's a lot less, as they were saying earlier, roles that end up doing nothing if you fail. Something usually happens, and like the narrative keeps flowing from it, and so it's a little bit more fun to take ownership of those roles.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And I mean, I feel like the joy coming off of you guys in some of these situations where, things have gotten admittedly a little Looney Tunes at time. And, some of that's been on me, some of that's been on you guys. I'll spoiler alert, this job you're on right now is not gonna get very Looney Tunes, so buckle
You
up.
say that now.
Right? Once we roll all sixes, bro, you done.
No,
right.
I do say that now. Okay? You understand me? I'm saying that now.
Look, Cypher's not having a massive character personality switch until I max out on stress again.
Oh my god.
Well, Mike, what about you as a GM?
Oh, it's almost like I was getting to that.
No, he wasn't. Good setup, Zach.
But Mike, what about you as the GM of this season? Have you been enjoying yourself?
Well, thank you for asking, Nate.
Tyler, cut out Zach asking.
This asshole.
It's an interesting game to GM, where in some sense there's a lot less for me to go off of in Scum and Villainy than there is for, you know, other games. Like, I don't have a monster manual to pull stat blocks from. Even the lore that is in the book is kind of purposefully bare bones, and I think I've made do with that pretty well. I'd say like 80% of the NPCs that you guys have interacted with are, you know, names and personality traits that I've pulled directly from the book, but I don't often get much more than that to use. And that's been fine. Like, I've been rolling with it, and you know, most of this campaign has been me improvising, which is not something I've had to do a ton in previous RPGs, but it's been fun. I would say that actually my biggest, you know, pain point, not that it's something I like actively dislike about this system, but just the kind of thing that it's taken me a little bit of getting used to is that I feel it's often very easy for you guys to succeed, quote, without consequences, unquote, on things. And that's not even necessarily super true, because while there are lots of ways for you guys to load up on dice, and because only one die needs to be a 6 to get a consequence-free success, it's pretty easy for you guys to keep adding dice to your pool on these checks, but a lot of times that does come at some sort of resource cost for you, even if like it's not something you feel immediately, like with the gambits and stress. You know, there definitely have been times where I was like, I just want you guys to stop rolling 6s so I can throw like a new complication at you, but you don't.
But I don't think you necessarily have to wait for a 6 to be introducing new complications, because, like, looking at our last mission, I think, like, you know, there's constantly new complications throughout that fight, even though we were, like, rolling like madmen for that entire mission.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, other than our last fight, which honestly, even that, but that was our probably most successful mission across the board. But other than that, I mean, like, every mission has ended up in situations where it's like, oh my god, at some point, how are we gonna get out of this? And even in this last one, there was that point where it got really desperate for a little bit, and then we kind of got control over the situation. But, like, we get to these points where it's like, okay, look, if we have like 2 bad rolls, they're gonna blow up the ship, or like somebody's gonna die. Like,
I think the stress was still there because we knew what the consequences were if we did fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, look, the point is, it does feel like it's super tense at a lot of different moments, even when it doesn't actually end up working out that way because we get the good roll, but like we're flying. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be a super surprise if at some point something really, really bad happened with this crew, because we get close to that happening a lot.
I'm counting on it. Is there anything else like about the system, about the story, the lore, whatever, that like you're not really feeling? Not even that you dislike it, but just there's something that hasn't grabbed you.
I mean, lore's fine. I mean, it's helpful. I think that, if you're really ambitious, you don't really have to use it as strictly. That's one of the things with these types of games. Like, this is the first one we're playing on here, but the lore sometimes can maybe feel a little restricting. Like the type of world that they really want you to be in. Like it's very written out. You've got your specific factions and your specific things, but I think that you can work with that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy work around stuff. Like, you can kind of... It gives you a nice baseline so you don't have to make up everything.
Yeah. No, I can see some people that like really want to do something sometimes, but I feel like personally you should just be able to alter stuff as you see as the GM, but don't be so strict with the rules. But yeah, I actually really like it. I'm like it more than I expected to like it, actually.
But yeah, just noting that the GM's take is that it's too easy and that we should be punished more while we're on this crazy, savage planet and we're fighting a shark yeti.
Way back in episode 0, which we recorded approximately 5 years ago, we talked about sort of expectations for this game, the kinds of things you want to see in this sort of cinematic space opera universe story thing that we're doing. Is there anything that either you remember we discussed in episode 0, or just off the top of your head now, that we still haven't gotten to yet, or that you really want to see as we progress in this campaign towards the end?
To kind of answer this question by also answering the last question, I know one thing. I think my one like gripe with the system is just that they don't have like anything for space combat.
Yeah.
And I understand like why, because like how the system runs of like just scene by scene, it's like what are you gonna do with a whole big space combat thing? But I like space combat. I really enjoyed what we did with blowing up the ship with another ship, but like I'd like to see more space combat as well.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Nate. I think these kind of loosey-goosey games are fun, but I don't know, there's something about space combat, ship combat, that like I want some chunk to it, I want some crunch.
I do get it. It feels like it should be a lot going in, and it's like, shields are at 64%.
Right, yeah.
This particular game doesn't feel the one for me.
You heard it here, folks. Scum and Villainy, you need to add like a hex grid map battle rules add-on
just
to
for
the
ship
game.
combat.
Just for ship
3-dimensional hex grid map.
I was gonna say, we need ideally at least 3 layers, mid layer, upper layer, and lower layer, just because obviously we understand you can't go fully 3-dimensional.
Honestly, guys, I know we're memeing a little bit here, but this sounds fucking awesome, and I want to play that game, right? Because it's just like you get to hang out while you basically play this just really intense like video game, chess game thing going on. You're like, oh, dude,
3D chess with spaceships,
and you're constantly just doing little tasks to keep the ship afloat. Like,
So it sounds like everybody's having a good time. I guess Should we continue the podcast? Should we keep doing, or do you think this has been good enough? Welcome to the Procyon Sector! Our planet-hopping heroes find themselves in quite the snowy snafu on their latest job. Trapped in a turbulent blizzard, engaged in combat with the worrisome Wonknickel, and hearing mysterious music. What more could go wrong for Crash, Cypher, and Gorpheus? Will they overcome these challenges and find the treasure they're after? Or is this just a cold day in hell for the crew of the Phoenix 13? Here is the situation. You are on the planet Lithios. Ice, tundra, just wastes all around you. There is a gorilla with the head of a shark that has countless rows and rows of teeth, that has Crash pinned to the ground. Gorpheus has just cut a slash into its back, and countless rows and rows of teeth have started to grow in the gaping wound that Gorpheus just left on this creature. Something messed up is going on with this thing.
Important question. Does it have a neck?
Yeah, sure.
Is it like, like a shark? I'm just trying to picture this thing. Like, does this like...
It's like a really thick shark neck coming out of a gorilla shoulders.
Yeah, no, I think this just makes absolute sense. I think it's wild that you have to ask.
And it can like look around, right? Because like sharks don't really look around, they...
Well, it's a mystical creature from a weird ass world that Mike specifically told us is weird. So I imagine it can sense beyond just its sight, I just want to say, Mike, you grabbed this creature from the ether, and I'm so impressed that you found something just as cool as an owlbear.
Does it have a fin?
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
Good.
Does it have big googly eyes?
It's got really big eyes that can like they're almost like gecko eyes, like where they can like rotate and like look at all angles.
Oh jeez.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh man,
We're really okay.
It's
I love
a
it.
gecko shark gorilla.
Really pushing this thing, huh? Look, I would love if somebody were to draw a picture of this. I'm just saying.
In the middle of a blizzard, you guys are engaged in combat with this. I'll remind you and our listeners that there is a 6-segment clock to represent the Wonknickel's fortitude. 2 of those 6 segments are currently ticked. So I'm going to now throw it back to you guys. What do you think you do with all of this craziness that is happening?
As established last episode, Cypher is a huge fan of the Wonknickel. They're a fascinating species. And so Cypher, knowing exactly how you should deal with these in the wild, is going to throw their arms up, get big, and start making like loud noises to try and draw it back a little bit. So I'm gonna try a command check to try and like assert my dominance.
I love that idea. Let me guess. You got 2 pips in command, 3 pips?
0, baby.
Yeah, we have established that Cypher loves Wonknickel Week on the Galactic Discovery channel, hosted by Space Jason Momoa.
It's just Jason Momoa, but he's blue.
Yeah. And he's got like a real weird forehead. I'll let you decide what's weird about it. Yeah. That I was thinking about calling that a flashback, but I mean, it is technically a flashback, but I don't think I'm gonna make you mark any stress for it. I think it's just too fun to punish you for that. Um, so go ahead. You're gonna roll 2d6 and take the lower result with 0 pips in command.
What is my position in effect?
This will be a desperate standard roll. You can push yourself. You can get some aid from somebody. Both of those things cost stress. And you got a gambit.
Never.
And we have 2 gambits.
What?
We haven't
I
used
got
a
a 1.
gambit yet.
Why? You son of a bitch! Okay, where is all the power gaming?
So Cypher walks up as their friends are attacking this beast and goes, "Guys, I know exactly what to do. Hey, big guy, get out of here! We're the biggest fish in this snow tundra. You are small. So shoo from here."
A 1 on a desperate roll. Yeah, just forget what I said about how easy it was for you to succeed. Because a
God
one
damn.
on a desperate roll is the worst outcome. You suffer severe harm, a complication occurs, you lose this opportunity. I think what happens here
We lose this opportunity?
is those rows and rows of teeth that this creature has are not distracted by Cypher whatsoever. And in fact, they
God.
are agitated by their perceived taunting. And that big shark mouth with the gecko eyes on the gorilla body is going to chomp down on Crash's arm.
No, don't do that!
Crash, I would ask you to mark a level 2 harm, mangled right arm.
I'm resisting effects.
Okay. So you can roll to resist because this is a physical harm that you are resisting. You are going to roll your prowess, which I believe is probably pretty good for you.
It is, in fact, my only good thing.
Okay, so you're gonna roll prowess. You're gonna resist this. You're going to resist this consequence, reducing its harm level, basically. But you're going to suffer 6 stress minus the highest die roll.
Alright, I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you are going to suffer only 1 stress as this thing chomps down on you. You feel it starting to crush your right arm, but you just resist the pain. You resist and you just wait for the right moment for it to open its maw again, and you yank the hand out. And the damage is not nearly as bad as it could have been. You reduce that from a level 2 harm to a level 1 harm. And you can just write injured hand. But that, I believe, means that you have both of your level 1 harms marked. Is that correct?
I do. Distracted. What was that from again? That's right.
So what having both of your level 1 harms marked means for you is that if I give you a level 1 harm again, it automatically upgrades to a level 2 harm.
Okay.
Rough.
Good to know.
And if all of your harm boxes, your 2 level 1s, your 2 level 2s, and your 1 level 3 are marked, your character is dead. That is how your
fuck.
character dies.
Well, damn. Okay.
With that in mind, the bite was not nearly as damaging as you thought it would be. What is going to happen, you guys?
Well, I know exactly what I'm going to do. as soon as I pull my hand out of that thing's bite, with my other hand, I'm going to try and throw a detonator into its mouth.
Okay, we've seen this move before from Captain Crash. Give me a action roll here.
All right. I'm gonna say that probably sounds like a scramble, right? Like, I don't know. It would be a scramble or a scrap.
I don't know that you quite know what scramble means.
Scramble is like quickly, kind of, like adjust. Well, so like the whole. I guess. Let me explain the whole action here. What I'm trying to do is kind of throw this kind of detonator in there and roll out from under it.
Okay, I see. That, I think, is a fair scramble action. Yeah, we'll call this another desperate standard.
Okay. I'm going to use one of our gambits.
Okay, you'll get an extra die. Guys, make sure that you are marking XP for these desperate rolls.
That's a 5.
A 5 on a desperate roll is you do it, but there is a consequence. Severe harm, a serious complication occurs. Here's what the serious complication is. You toss a detonator in the open maw of the wonk nickel, and it swallows it whole. And a beat later, you see like the red glowing like energy in its chest that lets you know it's about to explode, and you are able to roll out from under its grasp as it's surprised by this. And then there is an explosion. Boom! Chunks of meat fly out of the back of this creature and sort of splatters over towards where Gorpheus is, as Gorpheus just, slashed it in the back with his sword. Gorpheus, you're not harmed by this at all, but you are now sort of coated in meat from this creature, and you are surrounded by giblets. And after a moment or two, those giblets start sprouting teeth. They start sprouting little tendrils and moving around and going towards you all. I am going to mark 2 segments on the clock here for a standard success of dealing with the wonk nickel, but now it's got little giblet minions too. And even though an explosion just went off in its chest cavity, it looks like this creature has not given up the fight just yet.
I would like to use a flashback.
Sure, talk to me.
Oh man, it's really useful that during that break I put a heavy blaster on the back of this land vehicle we have.
I would like to outfit a small turret on our speeder.
I see. So more than just a heavy blaster, you want like a full-on mounted like machine gun turret, basically.
Yeah, but like a small one.
Like the equivalent of mounting one of those onto your thing, so it's just there.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. That is a relatively complex flashback, and also would require resources that your crew doesn't quite have access to on their own.
I mean, I have a heavy blaster and mechanics kit.
A heavy blaster is like a pistol. This sounds like more than just a big pistol to me.
I figured a heavy blaster was like a two-handed heavy blaster, whereas a blaster pistol is a pistol.
Oh, I see. Blaster pistol and heavy blaster are their own separate things on your inventories.
So it would be 2 of my inventory slots to be able to mount it and use my helm to shoot it, pretty much.
Tell you what, yeah, you absolutely could do that with a standard heavy blaster. Go ahead, mark the 2 inventory, the 2 load, for the heavy blaster, and I'm gonna say that's gonna cost you 1 stress for that flashback. But you are able to get up into this makeshift turret with a rifle mounted onto it, and line up a shot at the ready to pounce Wonk Nickel.
Garfius, time for some space baseball practice.
What?
And I'm gonna shoot it like at Gorpheus so he can deflect the blasts at the little guys around him.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to use my psychomagnetic powers on the crystals to deflect all of the bullets that are being, machine gunned at me.
Don't you have a laser sword now?
No, but this is how I envision my laser sword, guy.
Oh, that's the crystals you were talking about. Okay, yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to use those crystals to, deflect these onto all the little guys.
Cool. So this sounds like a setup action. I don't think I need a roll from Cypher for this. The flashback and the stress was enough. I think that I just need an action roll from Gorpheus here.
Okay, I'm gonna use my attune because it's psychomagnetic powers. What is the conditions?
Are we as desperate now that I'm not pinned? Wasn't that the desperate condition?
It's sort of the presence of this creature plus the blizzard. So Gorpheus, this is going to be a desperate standard roll. I think standard is still good for your level of effect. But because Cypher has set you up, you can choose to either get +1 effect level or improved position for this roll.
+1 effect, sorry.
That will be a desperate great roll then.
I got a 6.
Oh!
That is a 6. Again, too easy. This game's too easy. You do it without consequence. As the heavy laser fire comes directly at you, Gorpheus, and you just send those crystals, spinning and gyrating through the air, and each one deflects a blast and sends it scattering in 3 or 4 different directions as it enters the prism and then out the other sides. And these little gelatinous, toothy things that are starting to converge on you start to get just decimated as they are just utterly destroyed under this heavy laser fire.
Once it looks like Gorpheus is safe, I would like to turn the heavy blaster on the big guy.
Okay. Once the little giblet minions are destroyed, Cypher, you turn the makeshift turret towards the Wonk Nickel. You see it's got all these wounds, these holes in its body that are beginning to sprout all these crazy teeth, and you line up a shot as it turns its attention to look at you in the vehicle and starts to rampage towards you, knuckles on the ground as it bounds across the ice. I am going to need an action roll from you.
It wasn't supposed to be this way. I loved you.
I'm gonna go for a helm roll. What is my position? Still desperate because this thing is charging me.
Still desperate. Standard effect.
I got a 6.
That is a 6.
Wow.
You do it, no consequence. Describe to me how you kill the Wonk Nickel.
Cypher is screaming at it,
I loved you. I wanted us to be together, but you had to attack my friends.
Just as a steady stream of blaster bolts just tears this thing apart, rips right through it.
Yeah, just turns it into ribbons. And each chunk that you blast out of it starts to like move and grow teeth like the other chunks that had fallen out, but they're soon decimated by the rain of laser fire as well. And soon there is nothing but just a reddish mist rolling across the ice.
Whew, that was crazy, guys.
Oh shit.
Everyone okay?
What's going on with the chanting?
I should have reduced your effect because of your distraction harm, Gorpheus. I keep forgetting about that, but
my god,
you boosted it anyway, so whatever.
I'm sorry, dude. But what's going on with the chanting right now? Because I know it did something when the mouth appeared.
Yeah, I mean, Gorpheus, Crash, and Lysia are all still hearing chanting. This strange musical chanting in the back of your minds, and it did get a little bit louder when these mutations started happening with this creature.
This music's driving me crazy, baby. Where's the space ska? The spa? Bobby O knew what was up.
Look, I don't think it's the time for space ska, okay? We have a sacred artifact or something going on here. I mean, we're close. And, let's just keep going, like, quickly, right?
How can you guys tell we're close? You keep saying that, but, this feels like every other part of this frozen tundra. Cold and white.
No, it's the chanting. The chanting's becoming more intense. Can't you hear it?
Lysia looks at you with a, very stern look, Cypher. She looks extremely serious. And she says, "We are getting closer. I know that we are."
What are we looking for?
You are looking for an artifact that she believes, that the Cult of the Seekers believe, can be used to open up the lost gate, if you recall.
But what does it look like? Is it like a fork or like a straight up key? Is it a sword you shove into like a little sword hole? I mean, what are we looking for?
Oh, I hope it's a really big key sword.
No, that sounds dumb, okay?
I will know the artifact when I see it.
Okay, but what if we find it and we don't notice because it's just like a rock or something that, I don't know, has a funny scribble? Because this is space, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but so many space religions have little funny rocks with squiggles on them, and
I said I will know it when I see it, and she's getting, very serious with you.
Crash, I think you gotta take the L here, okay? It's,
Alright, hey, it's your girl. This is your mission.
You are capable hunters, but you do not understand the severity of this mission.
You're absolutely right, but
that's fair.
You need us anyway, so keep leading the way, and how far away? Because, my toes.
We are getting closer. And that is all that she says before she, points back north and gestures for you to continue following her.
So is this one of those planets where north is colder or warmer?
It's all cold, baby.
It's an ice planet, my dude. Remember, we learned this early on. Only one biome per planet.
Surely there's a couple with 2 or 3 though, right?
Nope. And so you keep going, and because the Wonk Nickel has now been dealt with, I'm going to stop both the arrive at destination clocks and the Wonk Nickel's aggression clocks, as that part of the adventure, good job, has been overcome.
Proud of us.
But you do continue traveling for several hours, and anytime you stop to ask Lisaya, like, "Hey, seriously, what are we doing?" all she really says is, "We're getting closer. I'll know it when I see it." And after several hours, you see that there is a chasm in front of you. You can see it from miles away. And with each step, it gets closer, it gets larger, and the look on Lasaya's face gets more euphoric as those of you who can hear the singing, the chanting becomes clearer as well. You eventually wind up at the edge of this great precipice. Think of like basically the Grand Canyon if it was all icy. And you're looking down into just sheer darkness. And as you look down, that chanting is as clear as anything you have ever heard. As if there is a choir standing right next to you. "We must descend," Lisaya says.
Yeah. Right,
Is
guys?
it warmer down there? Probably. I mean, Jesus Christ.
"Gorpheus, it's the chasm from our vision.
Yes! Oh my god!
I knew that we would find it. I knew that we could trust the way to bring us here. We are so close to reclaiming what will guide us into the future."
Crash whispers to Cypher. He totally didn't remember that.
Do you think it's eerily quiet in here, or is it just me? It's like really creepy.
Is the music on?
It is very loud. Let's descend. Does anything look suspicious? This seems good. Like, we win, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong here.
Does anything look suspicious about the giant abyss before you?
Yeah.
That looks precarious to descend down, and that your vehicles will absolutely not safely be able to go down on their own. No, I don't think there's anything suspicious about that.
Yeah, guys, this is fine. Let's just go down.
So, do we just like jump down, or?
Well, let's not just jump.
Well, we have parachutes. But no, you're right. Let's not do that. Hold on. Do we have, like, I know it's not in my inventory, but, like, glow sticks?
What?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna crack a glow stick and throw it down the chasm and see, how far it goes and how much it hits on shit.
And it falls and falls and falls and falls and falls and then disappears.
Well, it goes pretty far.
So if we were to jump, Gorpheus, do you think you could use your magic to catch us?
That's a huge if, my guy. And if it doesn't work, we all die.
You should probably practice something like that for the future then, so that we know.
Well, I didn't think I'd have to, levitate.
The amount of times that the opportunity for us to jump out a building comes, you'd think you'd have practiced by now, but...
Honestly, I've jumped out at least 3 buildings in front of you. I mean, and one time I broke my arm.
But it's not that easy to do. I mean, okay. Why didn't you guys have a fix? You think I could do some crazy magic, so I should be able to do any crazy magic that you guys envision.
No, it's just you can move things, and, if we just wear, like, magnets in our shoes...
Well, okay, we probably should have went over this earlier, but that's...
I mean, I'm made of metal. Can you not move me?
You probably could do it to him, but I don't think I have quite enough iron in my blood.
I want to try to use my psychomagnetic powers to help Cypher just walk down this chasm if I can possibly do that and lower him?
Lower Cypher all by himself?
Well, part of the way, and then we climb, and he could use, his robot extendo arms, right?
Yeah, and we could even start descending with him.
As a group. Yeah, let's just descend together, with, I guess, Gorpheus leading the action.
Well, at least if Cypher falls, you can catch him more easily.
Yeah, well, I guess, do I want to try to use psych? I mean, is there enough to magnetize myself to the walls, or is it not very metal?
It looks like sheer ice.
Well, is the water that the ice was frozen on, like, full of, like, iron and shit, maybe?
There might be enough to try, but this is a game where to do something, you have to do it.
You're right. Okay. Fuck. It's a lot of pressure.
Gorpheus, what if you make, like, a stairway for us using your powers?
Can you shift ice? Ice is, sort of, like, metal. It's hard and shiny.
Ice is sort of like metal. Episode title?
God damn it. Okay. Is there any large pieces of metal in this room?
You're not in a room.
I know. You know what I mean by room.
Yeah, there's two very large pieces of metal nearby. Your vehicles.
Fuck me. Okay.
Gorpheus, you're not doing that. Gorpheus, no.
You are in a barren tundra with the Grand Canyon in front of you. That is what's around.
You're not using the vehicles. And there's Cypher. Cypher, do you think you could give up like an arm?
Well, maybe we can go to that other outpost I was looking at on my scanner earlier.
But that's so far away.
It's not working anymore, huh? I wonder why that is. I can't seem to read anything.
Well, Lasaya, is there like so we just have to go down the chasm, right?
That is where the artifact is calling us.
Shit. In that case, let's take the 2-seater, and you try to use my powers to, ease it down with 2 people on it. And just quick grab and, just snag it and try to get out.
Are we sure we're going to be able to get out of the canyon with it? Do we not want to just leave it here? I feel like just bark it here and we'll pick it up later.
It's fine. We'll climb down. I'm confident.
Okay.
Lasaya, you're a good climber, right?
And she like looks at you. Do you have any climbing gear or anything?
I saw spy gear, but I wasn't really sure what else kind of works for this.
Or are you gonna just try to free solo down a icy cliff?
I say we use the psychomagnetic powers.
I have a grappling hook.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something on this list here. I've got spy gear. That probably has a rope.
That's what I was looking for, was a fucking rope.
Sure, yeah. That probably has a rope. And yeah, Cypher's got a grappling hook. Is that something unique to the pilot, or can anybody have a grappling hook?
I think it's a unique one. It's on my top list.
Yeah, so that's unique to your playbook.
Wait, no, this is perfect! Cypher, stop! Cypher, use your grappling hook to descend. Meanwhile, we'll take the land vehicle and I will use my psychomagnetic powers to slowly lower us down.
Yeah, I kind of want to just leave it here. I feel like you're being very, I don't care if we lose another vehicle, and I kind of do.
Okay, you know what, Cypher? Here's my thing. This was our vehicle, okay? I get a vote in this one. You guys got to keep a fancy...
Okay, you get one of 3 votes. Who votes? We leave it here and pick it up and don't lose it in the canyon.
You know what, Cypher? You lose 2 votes because you've already blown up 2 vehicles.
I am
Whatever,
a professional at knowing when a vehicle is past its expiration date, and I'm telling you, this one is not at its expiration date yet. I'll know when it's time to blow it up.
I can't believe you. You get to blow up ships all the time. One time I'm like, hey, let me use my cool powers, but whatever.
You get to listen to cool magic space opera all the time. I don't get to hear it.
Okay.
To me,
okay.
all I hear is whoosh.
Okay,
whoosh,
what are we doing?
Noises.
It's a freaking... Okay, that's fair. Just, you want to descend then?
Yeah, I figure we can climb. We're you know.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to have a rope through the spy kit. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think the spy gear totally makes sense to have some kind of climbing tools in it.
Well, look, it's basically a sheet of ice, right? So we've got those suction cup climbing things that spies use, you know?
Yeah, you can have Mission Impossible suction cups as part of your spy gear.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, ice is basically the same as glass, but just, you know, colder.
Ice. It's like metal and it's like glass.
So, Lasaya, I don't know if you brought any spy gear?
No, we can share. That's fine.
Okay, cool. I just, wanted to make sure.
I think every spy gear kit comes with 6 suction cups because of aliens anyway, so...
Yeah, this is good.
You know, she can have 2 of mine and 2 of yours.
Yeah, if everybody marks spy gear or, for, in Cypher's case, grappling hook, that will give you enough to cover the 3 of you plus Lasaya.
Okay, let's start descending the crevasse.
So I'm gonna need action rolls to descend down the cliff. The blizzard has slowed down, so you are no longer in a desperate position. You are going to be upgraded up to risky.
Plus, we're in a cave. There can't be a blizzard in a cave, a chasm.
Like I said, it's a huge chasm.
I would like to sway down the... I guess scramble is the closest I can see.
Yeah, I think scramble makes sense here. I am going to need a roll from everybody for this. Now, we could handle that as a group action if, somebody is sort of leading this. Or you can all just straight up do it individually.
All right, so we're all just gonna go for it.
Yeah, because the leader of a group action can take stress for this. So, and I know that's a sensitive subject for you guys on this job.
Yeah, we don't really have a whole bunch of... So this is a risky standard?
Yeah, this is going to be a risky standard.
Can I do a rig roll because I'm using my, cool grappling hook belt buckle Batman thing?
Yeah, technically, I mean, again, with this game, I can't say no. You can roll whatever you want, but
do you want to change the position / effect because I'm doing that? Should be a better question.
No, that would be the better question. Thank you. No, I will keep rig as risky standard.
Risky standard. I rolled a 4.
Oh, I rolled a 2.
I got a 4.
Oh boy.
I mean, a 4 is basically a 5.
A 4 is basically a 5 because they're the same result.
And a 2 is basically just a 3, so I mean, how bad could it be?
And it's also basically a 1. So, Cypher and Gorpheus. On a 4, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you end up in a desperate position. A relatively minor complication for now is going to happen for that. And that is going to be that as the 2 of you are descending, and Lasaya as well, who I think is probably rigged up with Gorpheus, You are descending safely down, but like each time you move or like readjust your I don't know climbing terminology, but like where you would sort of hammer in a new part to like anchor yourself to, further down, you know what I'm saying? Each time you do that, like just big chunks of rock and ice are falling. And it's not enough to like put you in a precarious situation, but it is like loud on the impact when these chunks hit the ground, and it takes like a minute from them falling to you for you to actually hear something. Which lets you know that this is a very deep chasm. I am going to start an 8-segment clock that for now I will just label as question mark
Oh
awareness.
god.
Okay.
The instant death you fall down an ice cavern clock.
Or it could be something else.
Now let's talk about Crash, who starts to climb down.
And realizes suction cups don't work too well on ice.
Yeah.
Ironically, they work fine for us, though.
And you start slipping, Crash. You start slipping, and you reach to try and grab like the edge, the wall here, but you can't get a firm grip. It's too slick, it's too wet, it's too cold to your touch, and you start plummeting down the side of the chasm wall. You are in a desperate position. I am going to give you one more chance to try and save yourself here using another action roll.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to try and stab the wall with my combat knife.
Okay.
And stop my fall.
Fuck me. I want to try to use my psychomagnetic powers to... Well, no, I'm just going to help you.
Well, let's just see if what happens first. But yeah.
So Dom, you can take 1 stress, and that will give Crash an extra die here. What action roll are you going to use for this?
Well, I mean, I'm stabbing a wall, so I'm gonna say scrap.
Okay.
I just want to fucking smack it in there as hard as I can, try and get it in.
Give me a desperate limited scrap roll.
Oh god. Alright. And no help.
No, you got help.
You got help, so you have a bonus die. You can also push yourself, or do a devil's bargain, and you can spend a gambit.
What's the devil's bargain?
My devil's bargain for you here, I'm gonna say Razor is out somewhere in the wastes. Not immediately on you, but he's on a job here on this planet. You know this. And maybe he stumbles upon the scene of the Wonk Nichols attack and sees the remnants here. And maybe it reminds him.
Hell yeah. You don't even have to continue. I don't care. 100% I'm taking it. Stop talking. I'm all about Razor getting involved.
I didn't even get to say what the thing was.
What? Yeah, what happened?
No, Zach ruined it. No.
God damn it. Okay.
Razor is out there in the wastes. He's on a job here on this planet too. You guys know this. And let's say he stumbles upon the aftermath of your fight with the Wonk Nickel, and it reminds him of that fateful day with the Grand Faraniki, and he puts 2 and 2 together here that this is your doing. And maybe, just maybe, he decides to put the other mission on the back burner for now and see if he can follow this lead. And I will tick off one segment of the Razor Attacks clock, bringing you to 5 out of 6 on that.
Oh shit, you're right. I forgot.
Great. Anyway, I got a 6.
Well, thank God.
So, you, with a 6, you do it. It is limited effect, so you are able to stab the knife into the ice, and it is enough to slow your descent down to a stop. You are fine, but you can feel the knife buckling under your grasp. You feel that this is not a stable way to remain attached to the wall, let alone descend further. But it is enough time for your allies to reach you as you have now fallen far below them. And as Cypher, Gorpheus, and Lysia sort of get to your level, about halfway down the chasm, you can feel the knife starting to waver, and you know it's only a second here before you begin to plummet once more.
Well, presumably they have gotten their rope down and anchored, and I can, as they've reached me, you're saying, and I can attach myself to one of the ropes to be anchored onto where they've been anchored and try and descend again.
You can try. This is a pretty precarious situation, though, and you don't have a ton of time, so I would like another action roll to see if you can get out of this situation. You are back up to a risky position.
I would like to attempt to now like that I've like gotten, I'm stopped on this thing. I'm gonna try and reattach with my suction cups and scramble on over to the rope and grab it so that I can just tie it onto my my loop and be able to readjust myself.
So here's the thing. I'm assuming that you are holding on to the knife with your good hand, meaning that whatever you are going to try to do here is probably going to rely on your injured hand, which is going to reduce your effect on this.
Great. Love it. Yes, let's do it.
So give me an action roll. What action are you going to use to try and accomplish this?
Scramble.
That is going to be risky, and then because you are relying on your injured hand, limited effect.
You got the different devil's bargain for me?
Yeah, Razor shows up and attacks you.
Okay. Yeah, alright. I won't do that yet. We need to get down at least before I do that. Okay. It's not desperate, so I'm gonna use the gambit. 5.
5, but there you do it, but there's a consequence. Again, just another big chunk of ice, basically with your knife still attached into it, falls off the cliff and disappears into the darkness below, and a minute later there's a large crashing sound. But you are able to scramble onto Cypher's back and sort of hook on to like his carabiner, basically, to like link the two of you together. And now the four of you are able to continue descending down. So Crash, the consequence here is you have lost your knife.
Cool. Should we action roll?
No, you guys are good now. And so everyone continues descending. It is a slow and methodical process. And eventually, what little light there was disappears into sheer darkness. You are now like fully underground, and it is so cold. I imagine that you have it just in your spacesuits, like flashlights that you can turn on. So you are not without visibility. But even for Cypher as an Urbot, like, it is so dark for your sensors, you don't have complete visibility here. But eventually, your feet touch solid ground beneath you.
Oh, finally. Jeez. How long was that? I mean, like, that had to have been the longest down climb we've ever done. I mean, there was that one chasm on SeaWorld, but it was underwater. So it hardly even counted.
That definitely doesn't count.
Yeah, there was less peril involved in the fall and more peril involved in the being trapped underwater. But thankfully, of course, we have those space masks that just convert water into oxygen.
Yeah, those were really convenient.
Yeah, we really should have kept them instead of, Oh, no, never mind. I bet those in a race.
Okay, the chanting. How does the chanting sound right now?
So loud. And Cypher, you start hearing chanting as well down here. But you realize that this is not some hallucination. This is your actual audio sensors are picking up on strange chanting-like noises that are quiet and muffled to you, but are coming in the distance somewhere at the bottom of this chasm.
The chanting's really loud, guys. I think they're right next to us. Just keep going.
This is killing me. It's like Christmas music.
Yeah, but, it's almost over. Just think about it that way.
Does the people chanting in your ear never make you think I'm in a cult?
In this instance, no, because it's in everyone's ear except for yours, Cypher.
I am in a cult, the cult of the Seekers.
Oh shit, yeah, didn't I tell you guys that?
I told all of you that previously. It is a literal cult. Yes, I am in one.
I know that I wasn't talking to you, ma'am. I'm sorry. This was a team discussion.
Oh, I thought I was part of the team for this mission.
Look, you're Garfius's girl.
I wouldn't say you are a part of the team for this mission, and I don't know why, Cypher.
This is definitely at least at best a trial, I'd say.
Oh my god, guys, let's just finish the freaking
nice.
Okay.
You are my employees. I am your client. I will
Wait,
be.
hold on a second. Are you paying us?
Yes, she's paying us.
Yeah, so that's not part of the team.
I thought we were doing this for you, Gorpheus. I thought this was a favor.
No, this is a job.
Oh.
This is our job.
Well, I'm sorry. Forgive our rudeness. I thought this was just for our boy here. Yeah, you're absolutely a part of the team for now.
What? This is ridiculous. She's not part of the team.
I don't understand why you keep calling Gorpheus my boy or me his girl. What do you mean by that?
Well,
it's slang. It's a space, bounty hunter thing.
That must not be common slang on the planet I am from.
That doesn't surprise me.
What does it mean?
Well, you know how you and Garfius both believe in this crazy religion stuff, and
the way
don't.
a provable mystical phenomena of the universe. Yes.
Yeah, provable.
Yeah, but you guys take it to like weird cult levels.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Again, yes, I am literally in a cult.
Yes. I'm just saying the two of you both share.
Do you
the
think
fact
that's weird?
No.
Yes.
No.
I mean, it's just, everyone. I'm down with everyone's thing. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, which is totally normal. Okay. At least we're not gambling addicts, so there's that.
Okay, look.
I'm sorry.
You and Messiah, ever since we've gotten to this weird planet, have both been just a little insufferable, I'll be honest.
I'll be honest, I feel like it's maybe a little even judgmental.
Okay, you know what, guys? Maybe I'm being a little judgy, because you guys keep saying we're crazy.
Well, no. Obviously, you're not crazy. I hear these crazy, weird sounds. It's just that they sound like Christmas songs, and I'm kind of over it. Like, I know it's snowing out here, but do we have to have jingle bells in every single thing? I mean, you're just on and on, these bells.
Question for the Game Master.
Yeah.
As far as we're aware, it was mentioned before that Urbots are not connected to the Way. Do I know? For the most part, obviously, it's a vast, unknowable universe. But do I know it to be true that Urbots aren't connected to the Way?
It's the kind of thing where, as an Urbot, if something is like a purely like biologically mental phenomena that is happening, that's probably not going to happen to Cypher. And that's what seems to be happening with, the rest of you. I'm not going to say that necessarily Urbots are not connected to the Way at all, or are immune to the Way, or whatever.
There's definitely Urbot Jedi.
Okay, yeah, in the vast, unknowable universe. I'm going based on my understanding, though. My understanding makes me curious. Cypher, you're hearing the chanting now.
Yes. It sounds weird. I agree with the captain, not a huge fan.
Is it loud?
No, it's not. It's not that loud. It's pretty far. It sounds like it's coming from over there.
Wait, I think you might have a different situation, Cypher. You can better help us envision a sense of scope. What I'm getting is that these guys are transmitting this somehow, and you're hearing them actually chanting, and we're getting weird waves. So I'm saying, can you guide us and give us a sense of how close we're getting?
So you want me to guide you to Santa's workshop?
Yes.
I'm in.
Let's go.
But yes, Captain, I do think he was saying that I am the most in tune with Sue right now.
In a certain sense, yeah, sure. That's kind of the thing. It's,
Now everyone follow me, Master Cypher of the Way, as I lead you on in this perilous journey. You can call me Sensei from now on.
And as you lead them on this perilous journey, Cypher, I would like an action roll for you to try and navigate on foot this dark, creepy, chant-filled cavern. How are you trying to lead your allies through all of this?
Presumably with flashlights.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a little bit of light.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a flashlight, but like some crazy echolocation would be cooler.
Everybody has a glow stick stuck to their belt also, I guess. Different colors.
Yeah, but how's Cypher using this sound?
Cypher doesn't need a glow stick. He probably has just like an LED that he can change colors somewhere on his body, so he like picks purple, probably.
No, I think Cypher is more of a gold and green kind of guy.
Well, how's Cypher guiding us?
We're gonna scramble through.
Yeah, makes sense to me. You are back in a risky situation.
Not desperate.
No, you're not desperate yet.
It's fine. Risky's good. If we get 6s on riskies, we get more gambits.
No, but I want those level up points.
Give me a risky standard scramble roll.
4.
A 4. Okay. You start leading the group forward through the bottom of the chasm. As you do, the chanting that your audio sensors are picking up gets incrementally louder. Not to the like constant right next to you volume that the rest of the group can hear, but you know you are getting closer to the physical source of this noise. However, about 45 minutes into your journey, Cypher, you feel yourself step in something, and something closes around your leg. It feels like a metal cable, and it yanks you up off the ground, upside down into the air, like a trapped animal who just triggered a snare. And everyone can hear a cocking laser rifle as a figure steps out of the darkness and into the light. You see that it is a middle-aged woman. She is dressed in furs. She has goggles over her eyes, and she is grimacing at you, her face contorted in a mixture of disgust and confusion. And she just says, "What are you doing in my cavern?" And we are going to end our episode there. And we will pick up next time on Escape the Dungeon. Thank you for listening to Escape the Dungeon. Escape the Dungeon is created by Dom Brass, Nate Brass, Zach Brass, and Mike Cripps, with editing and original music by Tyler Newell. If you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. To find us on social media, go to escapethedungeonpod.com.